the YouTube channel. We're out on a little easy run, but I thought I'd do a video this week talking about the 4 things that I've changed in this very short training block, and I'll talk about my goals for Berlin at the end of the video. But first, let's get this one in. Okay, so the first thing that I changed is I really worked at the beginning of this block to take a lot of the pressure off that I typically feel with training blocks, which meant like no time goal, no paces, no nothing. Obviously we're still doing quality work, but I think a lot of the pressure I feel comes from up here. And I think because London didn't go well, I really want to be able to fall in love with marathons again. So I feel like that was number 1, keeping really low pressure on a 7-week training block as well. Super short, but yeah, just wanting to have fun. Never gets old. Okay, we are back now from the run. It was just a really short, easy run because obviously we are tapering. I also cut my hair yesterday and I love having shorter hair. It feels so much lighter. But I'm gonna throw an extra thing that I changed because I just realized that I have never done a marathon training block where I take creatine, and I'm coming up on like almost, I think 4 months, maybe 5 by the end of September. And it just is really exciting. But honestly, I think I have spoken about this a little bit before, in that I just feel like the recovery process is so much quicker for me, and I find that in combination with the strength training, it has made me such a stronger runner. I feel like I really felt this at the Great North Run last weekend, like just feeling that strength in my legs, and it just feels so good to feel strong. And I feel like the recovery process for me has been quicker, and I have just really enjoyed adding in creatine. And I know that I talked about like possibly adding it like a month before London Marathon, but I didn't want to change anything at the time. But I can definitely say that I feel like it's been a benefit to my marathon training and just overall, like, you know, everything that I do with strength and just like recovering faster. But I have been loving this brand Create, but it is just 3 gummies. I know that the powders are probably somewhat more reliable, but I am just a baby and I like my gummies, so sue me. We are now dressed and getting ready to go out for a little day out in central London. So I'm going to take you along because I still have 3 things to get through, but I thought it was worth sharing some video footage of me not in running clothes, because I am not just in running clothes 24/7, but I'm going to take you along and we're going to go out into central. Okay, the third thing that I changed in this marathon training block is that I tested the waters with higher mileage, which I know I didn't have a lot of time to do, but I feel like a key component in being able to do so is going to be tip number 4. But I feel like it really allowed me to see what my body was capable of, and testing the waters with going a bit higher in even my longest runs. And I think one of the key workouts that I was really proud of, other than the Great North Run, was doing 24 miles with 3 by 6 miles at marathon pace. And so I think overall it was a really good experience, and it just really allowed me to see if high mileage could be for me and kind of test the waters and help me sort of think for future if that would be something that I would try again. We're heading into H&M Home. They did not have what we were looking for.
Try it.
Snack number 1.
Do you get the taro? Oh, man.
What is that?
It's pretty good. I want to get 3 different ones.
Okay. Finally trying it.
Which ones do you want?
Alright, we're trying Sushi Joy. Got 3 pieces each. And we're going in. One of the 5 things that I changed is not fueling. If anything, we've kept the same energy with fueling, and fueling is something that is super important when it comes to marathon training, especially in the taper. I feel hungry all the time, even though I'm doing less mileage. So it's really important to still listen to your hunger cues, eat even though you're not running as much mileage. Okay, we're doing a lot of walking around, so we're gonna go and get a little dessert, but I think we're on tip number 4, which is that I actually took my easy runs easy. And contrary to popular belief, I feel like I've been saying this for years, and I never actually took it easy. And I think that a lot of people assume that they're taking their easy runs easy if you run like at a certain pace or if you run at a certain heart rate. But I think that like unless you actually are able to hold a conversation and you actually feel like you're running really slowly and really taking it easy, I think the best way to explain it is that like a lot of my easy runs actually went from feeling like a good effort to no real effort at all, which I think was really key. And then being able to have really good sessions where I could then have like much more energy to go and run faster in my track sessions, progression, tempo runs, all that jazz. So I think that that has been a huge goal for a while, and I feel like I actually was able to actually do it this time, and I'm excited to see how it pays off in Berlin. Just a small dessert. Okay, that was really good, and now we are heading home, so I thought that this would be the perfect time to share the 5th and final thing that I changed during this marathon training block, which is that I did not put any pressure on paces. So I never ever really distinguished any sort of pace that I was trying to aim for with marathon pace, which is something that I typically always aim for and do. And I really feel like this allowed me to kind of just see what marathon pace felt like for me and my body and just kind of go into it with no pressure. I think in addition to this and kind of connected is I used to always program everything into my Garmin watch, and I was very strict about it, and this time it was just kind of going about it and seeing what I would do, and if I wasn't really feeling, say, 3 sets of 5K at marathon pace, I would just be able to bring it down to 2 rather than like following a workout in my Garmin. And so I think that sort of adds to the first thing that I kind of changed around this training block, around just like no pressure. And I think this, honestly, in the end, I think allowed for me to perform a lot better and go into my training with a lot less pressure and just kind of see what I could accomplish. And I think that that made for a very solid 7 weeks of training as we sort of finish out this training block. So I'm very proud of it and what I was able to accomplish in the 7 weeks. So we'll see what I'm able to do in Berlin next week. Now, in terms of goals, I genuinely do not have a time goal. At the end of the day, obviously, I'm still going to continue to chase the Boston qualifier, but I feel like that time target keeps moving. And so I think that I need to get to a place where I'm sort of excited about marathons again, which I do feel. And I think that part of that has been just learning to take the pressure off and learning how to sort of fall in love with marathons again. But I feel like my genuine goal going into Berlin, because there isn't a time goal, is genuinely just to have fun and to soak in the atmosphere and to soak in just the vibes of what is a world major. And I ran Berlin 3 years ago, And it was really special at the time because I was raising money for Alzheimer's Society, which went towards like my grandpa who had passed away, and it felt very special back then. So I think that in that sense, I'm excited to go back and run the course again because I don't really remember much about it, but I think that I am very well trained to kind of go and give a good effort. So we will see how it goes. But that wraps up this semi-chaotic video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will be not only vlogging race weekend next weekend, but also the race itself. So stay tuned, subscribe, thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we are heading home. So I'll see you later. Bye.